Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today's topic, John, I'm actually at John's place right now in San Antonio, and we've been going over just, the next few weeks of a lot of the cool things that we're going to be rolling out to you. You've just seen sort of the beginning of what's going on with the Power Plays. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Darrell Martin. I'm the CEO of Apex Investing. I started it off really without any intentions to make an investing education company. I started off when I found out that we were going to be, me and my wife were going to be having a baby. And I went through so many books, so many courses, so many gurus, and wasted so much money that I did not want her to have to go through the same trouble I went through in learning how to trade. So I started recording videos, taking notes, making this little private blog. And one of my friends, which actually is a mutual friend of John and I, we've known each other for I don't know, like 15, 20 years now. He's like, why don't you make a website? And I'm like, well, who's going to listen to me? He's like, well, you're making money and people want to, they're here from that than somebody who could just make a fancy website. I'm like, well, I don't know. You make the website. I'll teach people. They can do what they want with it. And it just sort of took off from there. People, asked for more tools, things to make it easier to see what I see as a trader, what I've been taught by other traders to make money, which is one of the big things that, you want to do is you want to find traders who actually are able to hop in and be consistent, be objective, and teach you. And I remember being excited that we'd have like 100 members one day. Now we have, I don't know, like 25,000, 30,000 members over at Apex Investing, and we got like 300 something more just this last week of traders wanting to take advantage of the open house. If you want to know a little bit about, me, who I am, I'm a rodeo dad. That would be a good way to put it. I love riding horses, and my daughter here, she's 10 years old. This is just from this past weekend. She went out and we went cutting, which is where you cut one horse out of the herd, and then you got to keep, or one calf out of the herd, and you got to keep that calf away from the rest of the herd. She was pretty excited. She actually made a check on her very first attempt to do this, and so she had four go rounds, and so at the first competition, she brought home a check. And she does that quite a bit. She's a barrel racer. She does cutting. She does roping. We're picking out her chaps right there. So chaps ended up buying her. Um, she just loves to have fun. That's her power horse. His name is Terminator. It's actually his registered name. So she plans on trying to take him to some pretty big competitions this coming year. And I have a little son. His name is Judah. He is 4 years old, and he loves animals as well. He has his own little pony. And getting him into roping, and he actually is thinking about cutting. And his sister does, speed events and everything we can do just to go out. He actually sold this pony just recently. He sold two of his ponies so he could get a bigger pony, more of a cowboy pony that he could drive himself. There was more a lead line pony. This little girl here just loving him. And but yeah, he's always smiling. He's always talking. He talks more than any human I know. And I have a lot of people that know me say that's hard to beat, but he's definitely my son. This is my wife enjoying a fun view from the trampoline here out on our land on our ranch. And one of my best friends here, Chad Eubank, he actually has the title of toughest cowboy in the world. And so he's riding a balking bull right there, and then he will actually end up roping the cow. So, and that does actually count. And he did a healing, which is the feet right there. And so pretty cool. But anyways, we just have a lot of fun. I'm teaching him how to do farm chores. That's me on a daily life. So we're out watching Pee Wee football. He can't wait to play Pee Wee football next year in a little town here outside of Fort Worth. And anyway, so that's a little bit about me. Just let you know that I don't know. I just like people to know who I am. I like to know who people are whenever I'm supposedly listening to them on making certain decisions that affect my life. Trading is definitely one of those. And I didn't start out trying to make a trading company. I just started out trying to help my daughter, and it turned into a very fun thing. I can tell you I am definitely a better trader because of Apex Investing, not because of the company, because of the community and the engagement in the community. And some of y'all have talked about how your niece does that, and it's other people that do that, but it's the community that makes the difference. It's made a massive difference for me as a trader. I've been able to have my trading just went through the roof. And it's really funny because you think, oh, as a trader, I just got to sit down and make up my own method and do all this. And well, the thing is, as you start interacting with traders and you all get on the same page and you're all working towards the same goal, then new ideas come up, and people ask, well, why do you charge if you give it away for free? We're not charging for our education. And you probably figured that out. We give our education away for free. So we have programmers that work for the community really full time. And so as all these ideas come in from all the traders, this isn't just me, it's everybody, and we have teams that, actually contribute constantly ideas or take even your ideas back and they contribute that and work with the programmers. And they're always trying to figure out how do we make it easier? How do we make it more objective? I know one of Lori and my biggest goals, and we're actually starting to get there, is she'd see me like hop on, look at a chart, hit a trade, make a few $1,000s, and call it done. I'd be done for the day. And she'd be like, how do you look at like all these different charts and just pick that out? And so one of our big goals has been to actually make it where you could find those big trades. And that's really what these power plays are about, is to help you. There may not be a whole lot of them, and some days there may be a ton of them, but how to help you, take the most out of a chart and get the best trades you possibly can. That, not that they're all going to win. You use good risk management, of course, but when they're there, you go after them, and you have more confidence because they seem to work better for you, at least in the past they have, than not. Anyways, I want to help you make the most of this open house, and a couple things that you're going to have to do, and these are definitely requirements, is you're going to have to be in the elite room. And there are actually a few of our traders that I know that are in there around 3 a.m. that are traders that have been highly mentored and we've worked with a lot for the European session. Of course, there's a lot in the morning, some in the afternoon, and I've seen people in there all around the clock. There's not always going to be people in there, but most of the time there's going to be people in there that can definitely help you. But you can even open your room up and scroll back and look at what everybody said and talked about for the day and looked at charts that have been posted and questions that have been asked. But you have to be engaged. And I honestly would suggest that you, as silly as this sounds, but take a piece of paper, not just a cell phone or a tablet or a little note on your computer, but take a physical piece of paper. If you can find, those old pieces of paper that we used to use, right? And write engaged, like ENGAGED, engaged, and put that on the corner of your monitor somewhere, because you're going to have to be engaged to become the kind of trader that you want to be. There really is no way around it. I can tell you very quickly that I've only made it because of the good traders that I've been around. And one of the things I'm not afraid to do is ask questions. I don't care if I look stupid. I care if I lose money, because nobody remembers the questions I asked last year or 3 years ago, but they do remember how much money I am making and have made. I've shown my 1099s before. I've shown withdrawals, 1 week after another, sometimes one day, sometimes several times in a day. But they don't remember the questions I asked. They don't remember when, 10 years ago when I called up Think or Swim and I was getting into options. It's probably more than 10 years ago by now, but I called them up and I'm like, okay, I want to buy a put on Sprint. And they're like, okay, well, what strike? And I told them, they're like, what price? What, expiration month? And they're like, we can put that in for you. And I'm like, no, I want you to walk me through how to put in the put on strike. I want to buy this put on Sprint with this expiration. What do I do? How do I do it? And I made them walk me through it. And they were a little bit annoyed because they were like, they could just type it in 3 seconds and be done. But I wanted to learn how to do it. I didn't care that what they thought or how annoyed they felt, or I wanted to know how to do it. And that led to me asking a lot more questions of a lot more people. And let's see here. And then, and so I'm really just wanting you to engage with other traders. Okay? And that's be involved with other traders. John, I'm not quite sure what question you're asking, but, be involved. Lori is, a lot of y'all follow Lori, and she came to Apex not knowing what bid and offer was. Literally, she didn't know what the bid and the offer was. She didn't, what do you mean volume? And she came in and she asked questions and she asked questions and she asked questions sometimes annoying me, sometimes not, but she didn't care. She was going to get this down and make it work. And now she is among the best traders that we have at Apex. And she teaches other traders. And she started off with very, very little cash in her pocket, and now it's done very well. And it's that engagement. You're not going to just get through this by having some magical PowerPoint and just because you watched 10 hours of video or 100 hours of video, or because you watched it and you think you got it. It's the things that you think you know that you don't know that get you. Okay? And you're never going to find out what you don't know until somebody who does know sees it and tells you, hey, that piece is wrong. And the traders who make it are the people who are not afraid to be in the room and expose themselves as traders and go, here's what I thought I did. Was I right? Was I wrong? What could I do better? All right. So with that, we got of course, the standard risk disclaimers on here. So, obviously trading anything is risky. Make sure you know what you do before you're doing it. Your choices are, your choices. Okay. You can open an account. You can join into the open house still. It's still open until September 13th at apexinvesting.com. So hop on, watch the video on the home screen, and check that out. Go to Facebook. We're posting updates, webinars, things like that all the time. One of the things I recommend you do is after you hit like, click on the liked thing, and you can actually see a drop down and you can say show first. And that'll make sure that you actually see our post versus just only seeing one out of every 50 posts, which is what happens on most stuff on Facebook. You don't see that much on there unless you go and you look for it. So to help you see it, help it show up in your timeline. We're going to talk about the 4 trading personalities, some top mistakes for newbies and even pros that have been doing this for a while, how to identify and fix some of your weaknesses. And we're talking about, thinking about the next 12 months in mind, and not just the next, say 12 or 20 days, and tips for long-term success. Does that sound like something that may help you? Understanding these things right here? Awesome. Okay. Well, that's what we're going to go through, and we want to, again, help you focus on, learning to use, the mistakes of others, so that way you don't have to be the one, always going through the mistakes yourself. One thing that I've learned is very important is that wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes. Experience is a very bad teacher in trading. A lot of people say, well, experience is the best teacher. Experience is the worst teacher in trading. It's expensive, okay? I know I saw 1 or 2 comments about having trouble entering the room. So when you go over to enter the room, then there are phone numbers on here. And you can call those numbers and they will help you. There's actually 2 phone numbers as soon as you click on the Enter Elite Room page. And the people who actually own the software that run the web conference company will help you, and they are great at helping people enter the room. So make sure that you're calling them. Ideally during business hours is a little easier, and they'll take great care of you. Hotcom is an excellent company. We'll have Kathy over there, and they have people that will really take care of you. So take advantage of that. All right, so there's a few things, and I want to pull this up, trying to make sure I can see all your questions as we go, and try to keep it short, but not too short. One thing I want to talk to you about before we just dive into everything is just some of the top new mistakes. Don't quit your day job on day one. I've seen people do that. Take time to learn a system. Trading is a career. It's a way of life. And people will forget that. They think it's because you hear all these bogus sales pitches. We've all heard them, right? And hop in and just follow this one arrow and you'll know trading in 5 seconds. It's a profession. And think about, you would not want a doctor operating on you that had never been to med school, but they signed up for a trial and they're ready to go make money, or they've been, that's all they've done. They operate on cadavers, right? Dead accounts, demo accounts, all right? They spend years in college. Lawyers have mock trials, okay? Pilots, would you want to get on a plane? I flew on a plane out here from Dallas to San Antonio to be out here with John and work on some stuff. I would not want the guy flying the plane to be somebody who just decided that day they want to be a pilot, or they've crashed like 30 other planes that they bought from 30 other people that are supposed to be really easy to fly, but this one's supposed to be super easy. So feel comfortable, go ahead and board with me, and we'll go fly somewhere. It's like I'd want them to actually have treated it like a profession. They got in there and spent the time doing it. So don't just treat it like a hobby, like gambling. The people that Vegas makes money from are the gamblers. So think about it. Vegas makes money playing the exact same game everybody else does. They just know how to put the odds in their favor. Okay? And I'm not saying trading is gambling. I'm just saying that people treat it like gambling. And it's a massive thing that people do. They hop in and they just, no strategy, no system. They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn the statistics. They don't want to learn how to read the markets. They don't want to learn how to read themselves. And so I actually learned some of the stuff we're going to talk about today from Phil Hellmuth, which is a professional, what you could call, gambler, but really is a professional poker player who's won more rings than anybody. And about learning how to read yourself and read other people whenever putting money on the line and making, statistical decisions. So really think about that. This is investing in yourself. So you do want to take the time and think about the next 12 months. Like literally stop and envision. Okay. Anybody who's been really successful has probably read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And one of the biggest principles in that book is envisioning, what will happen when I accomplish this? What will life look like? Not just the cash in my hand, but how will that impact my life? I get to go out and ride with my daughter whenever I want to. During the day, during the week, for a week. I can take her to this big rodeo. We can go to these huge events. We can get really nice horses. To us, that's us spending quality family time together. Okay? Trust me, rodeo doesn't pay enough to pay for that. Trading does. So, take the time and think about what is life going to be like in the next 12 months. How bad do you really want it? Seriously, how bad do you want it? Would it just be nice? Because if it would just be nice, you're going to give up before you're ever going to get there. But if you really want it, then you got to be willing to not cut corners. You have to be willing to, learn a strategy, learn a system, use your demo account, take advantage of free education. One of the phrases I've heard is, a shortcut is often the longest way to a destination. Don't look for shortcuts. Do it right. Make your mistakes now. Ask your questions now. Work out the kinks right now. Demo, till Labor Day, a lot of traders are gone. Okay, a vast majority of traders are on vacation. So then they come back and they start hitting the markets pretty heavy after Labor Day. So take advantage of the seasonality of the market that's happening right now. It's a good time to be in there mastering, making mistakes, and not costing you money. And part of the reason we set this up the way we set it up is we wanted to give you time to go in, demo, make mistakes, and then be ready to go after it. Okay? During this open house, master these power plays. And one of my best mentors, he trades literally a trade a day, literally lives on a single trade a day. That's it. Either he wins or he loses and he's done. I am not suggesting that you do that, okay? But if you make a trade and it's a very big trade and it has helped your account reach a certain percentage and you're ready to move on, that's okay, time to move on. But the reason he's able to do that is not because of the quantity of trades, but because of the size of his trades. It's okay to just take a couple good trades. You can watch multiple markets. Eventually, you can pick up more trades just by watching multiple markets for the same trade. You don't need 50 trades to have a good day. It's actually one of the fastest ways to lose your money is just to keep trading and trading and trading and trading. So, be mentally prepared to take the best of the best, the right ones, the power plays. You don't need, again, a ton of trades. You just need a couple good trades each day. And we're going to teach you over these next couple weeks how to pick up more really good trades. Okay? But this trade is about taking these usually the bigger trades. Okay, so we're definitely adding more. But part of what we're teaching you is discipline. Some people will quit, and it's really funny. They're like, this only gives me like 2 trades a day. It's like, okay, did they win? Well, yeah, I would have made like 700 ticks. So how many trades do you feel like you need? I mean, is it really about the number of trades, or is it having a couple good trades? Okay, you're bored. Well, welcome to trading. The profitable traders, you know what? They're bored. The people who are excited and on the edge of their seat and nervous are the ones who are usually losing money. So being bored in your trading is actually one of those little secrets. When you're bored, usually you're probably on the road to, if not already there, becoming a profitable trader. And you just sit there and you wait for a good setup. It's like going fishing. One of our clients owns a fishing resort in Alaska out in Sitka, and he invited me and my family to come out and stay with him and stay at their place. He owns like 8 boats and captains, and they cook up all your food, and it's awesome. And there was a lot of waiting. And then the captain would drive around. He's like, okay, there's usually some over here, some over there, different kinds. I'm like, hey, we want to catch this kind of fish. We really like it. So he'd drive to those places. We'd wait, and then we'd get some really nice catches. And a lot of times it'd be all at once. It'd be like bam, 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 like 3, 4 at once. But part of it was just enjoying the process of just letting the lure be out there, relaxing, not having to be in a heart attack mode all the time like a lot of traders have to be, and just finding the good ones. Okay? So one of the things you have to learn as a trader is you have to be a disciplined trader. Okay? We gave you up to over 30 days to get in here and do this. So we want you to earn enough to pay for your membership. So in essence, it feels like it's free going forward because your trades are paying for it. And, think about, one person put on here, think about being a pilot. As a pilot, I mean, it's not exactly an exciting job. You take off, you land, but in between, you're just sort of checking gauges for hours on end and doing nothing. Okay, we got to adjust course a little bit. You got to go slow. But, definitely want to take the time to learn each period. One person asked that they, just enter. They haven't tackled Ninja yet. They're mainly trading Nadex. It doesn't matter. Nadex is a North American derivative exchange. Derivative means its price is derived from something else. So you want to make your decisions on a derivative from the underlying market. So many of our traders trade through Ninja, and many don't. Okay? It doesn't matter whether or not you're going to trade through Ninja. You need to use Ninja. Okay? And you need to go through the course that tells you to set Ninja up, and you need to set it up. It is an essential part if you want to be successful to go ahead and work that out now as quickly as possible. Like, get it set up today, because that is an essential part of your success. Again, no shortcuts. Don't take the shortcut of not using Ninja. Like, you need Ninja. You need the volume. Half of what you're, probably 3/4 of what we're teaching you is volume based. You're not going to get that on a derivative. You got to get that on the exact instrument it's based on. So Jason had PowerPoint today. It was a great one. That's awesome. So, we talked about long-term goal. Why did you get into trading? And we talked about earlier writing on a piece of paper the word engaged and becoming engaged in the room. The other thing you might want to write on a piece of paper is, why are you in this? Some people, they're going to college, right? And I used to work at a university while I was in grad school, and I tell people, what's going to make you go right or, left whenever you leave work to come to, after school classes or, after work classes. And I was like, you're going to want to be tired. You're tired. You want to go home. You want to do nothing. What's going to make you turn left and actually come home, or come to the college and take your classes? So right, go home. Left, go to class. Right, go to the couch and watch TV. Left, go to the computer and hop in the room and do trading at night when you really are just tired. right? Hit the snooze button on the alarm, left, actually get up early in the morning and start trading because that's really the best time for you to trade with your schedule. Whatever it may be. What is it that's making you, and it's not just money, like dig deeper. Dig at least 3 levels deep. Why do you want to make money? Well, because I want to get a new house or pay off a car or do this. Okay, why? Well, because, I want to know that I have financial stability for me and my kids. Why? So they will learn stability and financial stability, and they can learn a trade where they can make money so they can go to college and they don't have to worry about debt and be swamped in debt and be stressed all the time. Really dig. Why? And this isn't just Apex related. This is just period. Like if you're going to accomplish a goal that's going to take a lot of effort, you have to have a reason why, or you're not going to make it. You're going to quit because Ninja is annoying, because the website's having an issue, because there's a glitch on the chart, because I can't get into the room for the minute because it's messing up. Because the power went out, because my internet keeps messing up. Just on down the list. There are going to be hundreds of reasons, if not thousands over the years, of why you should quit. And there's usually going to be one really good reason why you shouldn't. And that why has to be powerful enough to get past all those other reasons. You have to have a good risk management plan. Important. Okay, if you go down and you put 5% into an account or into a trade of your account, you got 20 trades, a little less than 20 trades until you're out of money. What I like to do is I like to take my account size of all my risk capital. Maybe some of it's in ADEX, some of it's in futures, some of it's in Forex, some of it's in a savings account. But take 5% of my risk capital, divide it by 6, and that's the amount I risk per trade. And if the stop isn't where I need it to be, then I go find a different trade. I don't just increase the stop, and I don't place my stop by where I need it to be. I make sure my stops and my risk, and now if my stop is half of what's allowed, then great, now I can do 2 contracts. Lets me determine size. So we talk about a lot of that in the training. But make sure you have good risk management and profit management. How am I going to take my profit? If you don't know how you're going to get out of the trade, don't get into the trade. Okay? And I know John's talked about this before, but taking 5% to $1 million in 12 months, and if you are able to make 5%, say you have $1,000 or $3,000, whatever you start with, 5,000, and you make 5% on that a day, and you don't even change the number until the next month, that number will grow and grow and grow and grow. And of course, you're going to take money out. Of course, you're going to have losses. The point isn't that you should expect perfection every day and making 5% a day. The point is that money, the only way money grows is through compounding. And you want it to compound. And if you will let it compound by taking some out, taking some in, then you're going to want to use the ability to compound your money by, again, taking some out, but also reinvesting that capital and letting it grow. And again, trading with risk capital. Don't trade with your mortgage payment. That's a very bad idea. That will make you stress out and make bad decisions. Know when to stop for the day, when you're up or you're down. You don't have to keep trading until you lose all your account. But just because you're up doesn't mean that you're, Roman god of trading and you should be trading all day long, because that's a great way to give it back. So trade your plan, stick to a system, take emotions out of it. And the only way that I know to do this, is to have good risk management. That's the only way I know that you can possibly take your emotions out of your trading, is if you have good risk management. If you're like all excited as soon as it turns green and you're freaking out when it turns red, and on every tick you're just like, ugh, it means you're risking too much. Okay? Trade and demo until you have it down and you're profitable. And trade like you would the same size. Don't be doing and trading 50 contracts if you're only be trading 2. Trade the exact same way. Learn one system, one strategy, then you can add on more. And that's one thing we've done on Apex. And some of you have been around for a while. We know we sort of tightened stuff up a little bit, and then we're going to re-release information to help you add on for more trades on the same chart and give you more trades. But you got to master something before you can add on to it. Don't be married, to a system long term. We're going to adapt. I guarantee if you've been at Apex for more than 6 months, you constantly see us adapt. We don't change everything, but we do adapt. You'll see we start using things in a little bit different way. We've learned how to adapt. The market changes, the world changes, people change. So we adapt to the market. and you need to be willing to adapt. So as things come along that help it become more effective, we're going to release that. We may say, hey, this replaces that. This is actually a lot more effective. This volume reading is a lot better than this volume reading. So let's use this volume reading. And traders are seeing it consistently across the board. You're going to want to eventually have multiple plays in your playbook. That's why we start off teaching you 4, right? You got 4 systems and power plays, and we have more that we're going to teach you. But, it's like when you play golf, you don't just go out there with a putter. You don't just go out there with a driver, okay? You go out there with all different kinds of clubs. Even if you don't play golf, you probably know that, right? They have irons for when they're hitting it off the grass. They have drivers for when they're down the putting green. They have sand wedges for the sand. They have a driver for knocking it off the tee. So they have different clubs. They even have different angles that are different for different conditions. So we've taught you 4 conditions already. We're going to teach you more conditions over these next few weeks. But, you do want to have those 4, master one and master another. But eventually you want to get all 4 of those mastered. And we're going to teach you how to have a full bag of clubs, which allows you to trade in multiple market conditions, get more trades, and be able to use less charts. So other reasons that a lot of traders fail is they are impatient. They jump into trades without training. So they just go in and they hop in and they're like, I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to read the chart and figure it out. No, you're not. You're going to have some training. Even if they have the training, they just want to take a trade, so they'll hit the button. And they'll put live money at risk thinking, hey, I think this will work. It's like a surgeon never doing a certain type of surgery going, I'll just try this one right now on the fly. Let's see how it goes. You wouldn't want to be that patient. Well, neither does your money. Okay. So, the lack of education, bad risk management, which is going to completely mess up your trading mentality. They trade live too soon instead of, using demo. Again, demo, some tips on it. You can even have call Natics and ask them to reduce your account size down to the size that you're going to deposit. Trade the size you're really going to trade. Follow the rules. Make a minimum number of days that you have to follow the rules, trading the right size without breaking any of the rules, or else your days start over. That alone, think about that. If you go into pilot training, you're going to have to be able to go through so many simulations without any errors before they're going to let you have a license to fly. And still you're going to fly with somebody else, a community, right? So you need to be able to fly, trade consistently without crashing by doing the wrong thing. Okay? You don't got to take every, trade in the world that you think you see, but you need to take the trades that match up with your system. If you get really picky and really choosy and you start cherry picking your trades, like, oh, I don't know if that one's a good one. I think this one's a good one. And you overanalyze, you will, by default, pick the bad ones. It's just like a curse. If you start cherry picking your trades, you'll pick the bad trades and you'll miss the good ones. And then you'll be mad and you'll say, well, the system's not working. What about that trade and that trade? Well, I didn't take those because those didn't look good. But if you would have taken those 2, you'd have been profitable. Well, yeah, okay. That's a conversation we have a lot. Don't monitor too many instruments. I can look at quite a few instruments. I've been doing this a lot longer. So over time, I've been able to, look at a lot of instruments at once. And the way I do that really is I just have a couple alerts like, hey, cluster alerts on what? Oh, I look at that one. Okay, is there a setup coming up? Okay, I need to pay attention to that one. So I'll use alerts to help me. But don't try to hop in and monitor 6 or 12 markets at one time. Okay, just be patient. Again, no social interaction. If you're a trader on an island, you're not going to make it. If you're jumping between systems, if you go after every new shiny toy that you see come across your email, your Facebook, your friend sees on down the list, that's probably one of the biggest things we see. It's almost like one of the bad things about technology today. Is that there's so many systems being flashed in your face. You got to pick something and stick with it by people who are actually being profitable, not just because they make random weird claims. And the stronger the claims are, the more guaranteed their claims are, the more likely they're selling you trash, especially when it's like $35 one-time fee, okay? Just think about the logic of it. Not being consistent. You have to be a consistent trader. You need to use proper charts, okay? So, if you need access to charts, I mean, there's different ways to get access to them, access to the charts. Ninja is what we use. So some people are trading on Ninja. They actually trade, their futures and Forex and stock trades through Ninja. Others trading on a variety of different systems like TradeStation, Thinkorswim, MetaTrader, whatever. But their charting, okay, is Ninja. And so, of course, they use a country that Ninja is available in to get access to the Ninja charts, and they use those charts. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but that will give you, there's UK, there's a UK division that you can look up. If you're not a US citizen, you can go to the UK website of Ninja. That might be a tip for you for somebody who said they're outside of the United States. You need to use live data. So can't use delayed data. You need accurate, good tick by tick data, like Thinkorswim. I love that platform. It's the coolest options platform on the planet. Doesn't use tick by tick data, so we don't use it to chart. If I want to trade options on Apple, I'm going to go over to Thinkorswim to trade them. But I'm going to be looking at Apple itself over on Ninja. Where to get, free live data. One of the videos I go through, I teach you about how to get free live data. And we teach you about how to, just fund an account so you don't have to keep going through the whole live data cycle over and over and over again. Gut feelings. So make sure that you don't just feel like this is going to be a good trade today. Like it actually is a trade based on the requirements. Not trading what the chart is telling you to do. Like people ignore the chart. Like do what the chart tells you to do. Trade what you see. Okay? Thinking you know it all. Well, you know what? I'm making money. I'm the best trader in the world. I still am trying to learn. I still pick up books at the bookstore. And now, you know what? I'm usually hoping to find a few good sentences in a 300-page book that either are something that will help me or something that sparks an idea to help me trade. I'm not buying that book because I think it's going to teach me and revolutionize everything that's going to happen. I've read so many books at this point that a lot of it's just going to be the same stuff I've heard over and over again. But I'm always looking to improve. I'm always listening to, lawyers like, hey, I got this idea. What if we try this, this, and that? Or, Ivar comes in or, John comes in. I mean, go down the list. Peter comes in with ideas. Christopher. I mean, there's just name after name after name that come in. And they're like, well, we've been looking at this. Anne's been, hey, we look at this on the Euro session. And I'm like, show me. What are you doing? So I'm always trying to improve. No matter how well I'm doing, I'm always trying to improve. Okay? Trying to find that one trade that wins 100% of the time. No. Even in a thing called arbitrage, okay, which is very hard to do, takes a lot of money and a lot of time and really, really mad programming skills, there's still losses, okay? Stop worrying about winning 100% of the time because that, especially men are the worst at this. I'm men, I must win, beat my chest, type thing. You just need to find trades that at the end of the day, you have more inventory that came into your warehouse than went out of your warehouse. Okay? It's not all about win-loss percentage. It's not all about how much you make versus how much you lose on each trade. It's a balance of those two things, which means good risk management, good money management. Side question, how do you get stock data for Ninja? Hop on over to IQ Feed to get stock data for Ninja. If you just want end-of-day data, you can get it free at Kinetic. But if you want intraday data, you'll like IQ Feed. All right, so, a lot of traders fail to read the market conditions. They're just like, my system says this. And that's one thing I love about the Power Plays is we're really teaching you how to read market conditions. It's understanding the ABCs, not the 1, 2, 3s. Okay, the ABC is when this, and this happened, but are you just looking? Does it make sense? When you look at it, does it make sense? The 1, 2, 3s, it's I know the rules, but I haven't learned to think. Sort of robot without intelligence, okay? You want both. You want intelligence, you want the robot ability to go A plus B plus C, whatever, and then the 1, 2, 3, you want the intelligence as well. So you're looking not just for rules, but you're actually learning how to trade. You have to have that desire to learn how to trade. You got to know when to stop for the day. I mean, I know like my goal would be like, hey, if I make this much, I can stop and take my daughter to the zoo. And especially when she was younger, but stop and take her to the zoo. Now that's what you do. Hey, we can stop, we can take them to the zoo, we can take them to Legoland, we can take them to the park, we can take them to the kids' science museum. But I can just stop. I can have a life. I'm trading to live. I'm not living to trade. So learn how to stop. Be willing to take a loss. Like one of the worst things traders can do is I don't want it to lose, so I'm just gonna keep going. Like no, be willing to take a loss and don't worry about it. That's like saying, well, I want to have a house, but I'm not willing to pay an electric bill. Okay, to me, losses and bills are the same thing. Okay, just pay the bill, move on, next trade. I don't want to get any more hyper I do about winning a trade as I do depressed about losing one. It's just pay the bill, move on, make some money, great, move on, next trade. Okay. Don't get greedy and not take your profits. So a lot of times you'll find if you're like, would have taken profit, like if it's at a certain level and it goes up and then comes back down, a lot of times you end up taking a profit at the same place anyway. So, or you give it all back. And then one of the biggest ones is rewarding bad behavior. Who's ever like broke the rules and won on a trade? How many people in here broke the rules and actually made profit on a trade? Anybody? Am I the only one? Where I broke rules and like made cash? Yeah. So I've definitely broke rules and made money. I usually just lose. That's so sad. So we've all done it. Yeah, if you've been trading long enough, then you've broke rules and you've made money. And then what happens is, I'm just laughing because like I've never made money, but it's in a funny way they wrote it. So yeah, entering the wrong direction and making money, yeah, that'd be breaking a rule and making money. I've done that before too. I went short and I was like, man, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to go long, and then all of a sudden it's flying down, and I'm like, ooh, right. One of the worst things that can happen to you as a trader is you break a rule and it works. And so you break it again and it works, and you break it again and it works. And then before you know it, your whole system is out the window. And you got lucky, okay? And you end up killing your entire account. And you think your system doesn't work anymore. Well, you're not even trading at your system. You just got lucky because you broke the rules a few times. Because people go, man, if you look at this and this and this, if I would have broken that rule, that would have worked. Yeah, but did you look at the other 1,000 times where it didn't? Because we're real good at seeing the few that did and not good at seeing the ones that didn't. So be careful about rewarding bad behavior, being like, oh, I won it. Be like, okay, well, I made money, and that's good, because sometimes you're going to, you'll make mistakes and you'll lose. Sometimes you make mistakes and you win, okay? But don't let your mistakes ever be like a good thing. Just be like, hey, it was a mistake. That's all it was. Not something to be excited about. So, yeah, I got some of here that I've done it before. I paid later. It ended up being suicide to my account. So, yeah. So every once in a while you'll, do the wrong thing and you'll make money. Just don't let that become a habit. Let it become an accident that you learn from. Even if you make money on it, just be glad that you finally made money on one of those mistakes. Okay? So, take time to learn. Think about where do I want to be in 12 months, not 12 days. And you can even write that phrase down as well. 12 months, not 12 days. One of your goals in trading, the first goal in trading is this: surviving. You can never make money in trading if you can't survive to come back tomorrow with an account and trade. Okay, which means you have to have proper risk management. You can trade with risk capital. If you're trading out of the need to trade, trust me, I understand that. Okay, I've been there. Like I need to make money. When you need to make money trading, the market's really good at making sure that you lose every trade you enter, because you risk too much. You let your losses go because you need to win. You take your profits short because, again, you need to win. You take trades you shouldn't because you need to hurry up and get a trade because you need to win. Or you don't take a trade because you think that one may lose because you need to win. So many games are played in your head when you're trading out of need. So you got to just trade to trade well. If you're trading because you need, remember, we did talk about, where do you want to be in 12 months? That's your motivator to overcome adversity and the things that make you mad as a trader and make you want to stop, make you want to quit, all that stuff. But that's not the thing that makes you think about like this trade right now trading well. I say don't, a football player doesn't think about the Super Bowl the entire time and watch the scoreboard trying to win the Super Bowl. No, from, preseason to, Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night, whatever football, they're thinking about that play on, in that game, in that play, that moment, and they're there to play well right then. Because if they don't play well then, no matter how bad they want that ring in 12 months, they aren't going to get it. And everybody has to be playing right there, right then, in the moment. So be mindful of where you want to be and why you want to be there to keep you going, but also make sure you're trading for the right reason, which is to trade well, not to make money. As weird as it sounds, that is your why. But at that moment, the reason you're pressing buy, sell, enter, exit is to trade well. You're trading to trade well. Profit is a byproduct, the hopeful byproduct of trading well. But trading to need will make you make all the wrong decisions. And we've all traded that way before too. And it cost us a lot more money. I would have been better off not trading at all and just taking it and paying this bill, Yeah, because you're trading to need, not to trade well. So make sure you're socializing. Share your chart. Stop being afraid of what Lori or me or John or Peter or whoever you look up to or whoever you don't know and never met or whatever think. You know what we think? I think that person actually has a chance. The people who are asking questions, that are posting marked up charts, that are willing to take feedback and aren't worried about looking good, those people, those are the ones I'm like, they're going to be here in 6 months. The ones who I never hear from, the people sitting on the sidelines because they're too afraid or they don't want to figure out how do you post a chart, those are the people who won't be here in 6 months. So yeah, the more you're asking questions, the more respect we have for you. It's the people who don't ask questions. The first thing I do when somebody says, hey, I'm just going to cancel, this isn't working for me. You know what I do as the first thing? I go, okay, what courses did they take? How long have they spent in the forum? How often have they been in the room? What questions have they asked? I just want to see first off, what did we do wrong? And more often than not, they weren't in the room. If they were, they didn't ask questions. They have no post in the forum. They didn't complete barely any courses. It's a common theme. So you definitely want to, take advantage of this. Let's see, where there'll be a webinar showing the tools and trading systems. Yes, you actually can take the open house right now for free. There won't be a free trial after the open house is over. So you can go in and you can take that for free. You can hop in the trading room once you've taken that course, and you can see what kind of results people are getting. You can watch it as they call out trades, post trades, and things like that. Person says, I'm too busy, don't want to waste my Apex trial. Well, you're wasting it if you're not using it now because the trials will be gone September 13th. So you don't want to postpone it. And this is your presentation to stimulate and motivate you. Okay, how bad do you want it? So because right now is your trial. After this, the price goes up. Literally, the price goes up. People don't get grandfathered in. And you're wasting your ability to be inside the room using the tools absolutely free with no credit card whatsoever if you haven't signed up right now. Some people feel like they're going to waste their time. Oh, you're going to waste other people's time. Yeah, well, here's the thing is, John, I don't know if you remember when I said this at the beginning of the webinar, I am a better trader today because of the Apex community than I was before it. Do you think that's because everybody came in was better than me? I was already making money. I was just doing it because some of my friends sort of urged me to do it. It's not because people didn't know and I had to answer questions. And as I answered some of these most basic questions, I became a better and better trader. to the point now where we have traders that are out there teaching traders and teaching traders. Like, I mean, you see them in the rooms. You're wasting their time if you go in there and you don't ask them questions, because most of them don't even need to be in that room. Okay? They're in that room for you. And there's 20 other people that may be afraid to ask the question that you didn't ask, so now those 20 people didn't learn from it. So don't worry about looking bad. Don't worry about wasting people's time. Worry about wasting your time. You have so many days until the trial's up. You have so long and so much capital that you're going to have to be able to trade. You have to keep asking. Okay? You have to ask questions. You're wasting your time on getting to where you want to be by not asking them. Be more afraid, again, be afraid of losing money. Be afraid of wasting your time by not asking them. And trust me, you're never going to ask more questions than Lori Hell has asked me. She's asked me a bazillion questions. Chip says, I've never been made to feel foolish by ever asking a question in the room. Everyone has been very helpful. So, but yeah, John, I mean, you're not alone in that feeling of not wanting to waste people's time or look bad or any of that, but you got to decide whether, stop worrying about what other people are going to feel and think, and just worry about what you're trying to accomplish. That's why you're there. Use it. I mean, this is an opportunity. Take advantage of it, okay? And I get where you're feeling and where you're coming from. I'm not trying to, discount that. I'm just saying you're not the only one, and you'll be one person on these webinars one day saying, ask questions, keep asking questions. Don't worry about wasting my time. Ask the questions. I see Lori asking questions around the clock. She's answering questions. Yeah, Lori's saying that's a lot of times why people will hang out in the room. They're just there to answer questions. I mean, Lori will be done usually within 30 minutes of hitting a button. She doesn't need to be in there for hours on end. So, yeah. Moro, if a diagnostic bar is 10 ticks, does it mean it's 10 ticks each? Means the open to the close is 10 ticks on the measurement of the diagnostic bar. That's what a 10-tick bar means. So it could be longer if it has a wick. From high to low, could be bigger than 10. Cameron's like, do you know how many questions I answered today? So, and one of our big themes here is for you to become the guru, not follow the guru. This is not a spoon-feeding room. It's a room where you come in and say, did I take this trade correctly? Did I take this trade correctly? What did I miss on this trade? We're here to teach you how to trade, not to spoon-feed you the trades. And that's a little bit different. But you know what? We're teaching you how to read the markets and not just eat off spoon-fed trades. So that's why you may not see somebody always throw in trade setups out there for you. And some of them are really fast. Let's see here. Yeah, we're always changing. We're always adapting. As algos are adapting the market, we're adapting with it. So, but you'll notice on this training, we're teaching you how to read the markets a lot more than we are how to follow any kind of arrows. So it's giving you longevity. Trade journal. Write down what you learned that day. What'd you do right that you want to repeat? What'd you do wrong that you don't want to repeat? Okay. Some things to think about. When are you available to trade? When can you make yourself available? I used to have to get up early in the morning because I had a 9 to 5-er, and I want to come and be with my family, and I want to sleep. And so I gave up some of my sleep, and I got up early, and I traded the Euro session because that's what I had to do. Are you trending or are you scalping? So, we do a little bit of both. So now this is going to teach you a lot more about trending. Every once in a while, they'll turn into a scalp, though. So, yeah, the Apex system, can it still be effective? Yeah, it is effective. We use it constantly. We just always improve on it. So Ivar puts a very good quote. He who asks a question is a fool for 5 minutes. He who does not ask remains a fool forever. That's a really good quote. I like that. How many hours a day are you available to trade? Be consistent on that. What's your risk tolerance? How much can you risk and come back to the next trade, the next trade, the next trade, the next day? right account size, experience, depth of knowledge, market conditions. Make sure there's more one play in your book. Just things that over time you're going to have to make sure you have these things down, have your knowledge down. And the cool thing is we're not a one and done shop. I mean, we are a community of traders always adapting. So we'll look totally different in a year than we will in 5 years than we did a year ago because we're always adapting. But I wouldn't just try to go in and scalp because you want to scalp. Remember, your goal is to make money. It's not to scalp. It's to make money. Most of these trades happen within less than 5 minutes. These power plays, once they fire off within minutes, they're done. You don't need to be out in seconds. It's not like it may take a while to find one come up, but you don't need, 5 minutes and making 70 ticks, that's okay. So I wouldn't just change your bar size. That's just for scalps. Brian McPherson says, I've been watching you for years and what you've done and how you've grown, and it's amazing, and you're still the best at what you do. Thank you very much, Brian. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Abdul, trading with spreads, would you start with Forex or futures? I would probably start with futures. Abdul. Some say trading in the battle of the bulls and the bears. Now, here's about what we're about to get to about the 4 types, okay? The true battle is you. There are no bulls. There are no bears, okay? That is just media attention on the side, okay? You are the battle. And when somebody taught me this, they're like, there is no battle between bulls and bears. That's just for TV. The real battle is within yourself. You have to be disciplined. You got to follow what you're going to do. You must have an honest estimation of yourself. Okay, which was the definition I was given by one of my mentors. Is the definition of humility is somebody who has an honest estimation of themselves, not an overestimation, not an underestimation, but an honest estimation of oneself. Okay? You cannot control the outcome of a trade. Most of you never want to hear that. You cannot control the outcome of a trade. Do you get how big of a realization this is? Do you believe this? You cannot control the outcome of a trade. Who in here believes that's true? More of you? Okay. Again, you cannot control the outcome of a trade. Is that true? When you accept this as true, as 100% true, going forward, you'll become a better trader. That is probably one of the most important statements I'm going to make all night. You cannot control the outcome of a trade. And we've all tried. I tried tapping on the top of my monitor to make the market go down. Tried to get the whole room to do it and see if enough of us are tapping on the top of our monitors, the market will drop. That doesn't work. You just can't turn the monitor upside down or turn it or whatever. You can't control it. And you can't even control it after you put money on the line. You have no control of the outcome of a trade. I know some of y'all are like, okay, yeah, that's obvious. But when you realize that you have no control of the outcome of a trade, your risk management gets a little more in check. You being picky about what trade you choose, one that follows all your rules, and that your willpower, because we've all read the willpower books like Think and Grow Rich and all that stuff, and if you believe it, you can make it happen, and et cetera, and in trading, that doesn't work. It's like in football, both teams pray to win, but the best thing to do is pray that nobody gets hurt. Right? If you will come to believe that, you will be pickier about what trades you take. When the trade comes up, you will take it because you're like, I can't control how it's going to happen. So I'm not going to risk half my account on this trade. I'm not going to look for the 100% trade. There is no 100% trade. Because what you're looking at the ability to control a trade when you're trying to find that trade that always wins. And you're never going to find it. And as long as you're searching for it, you're going to keep depositing versus withdrawing cash. You do control when you sit down and when you trade. You do control when you get in a trade. Has anybody been whitewater rafting before? A few of you? Some of you? Like, in the mountains, like Colorado? So you go in whitewater rafting and you're going through these canyons. I remember one of them was like Pinball Canyon. I figured out real quick why, because I became the pinball inside the canyon on the raft. Do you go, it's time to get out and just hop and just steer your boat right to the sidelines and get out? Or is the river still moving and you have to look ahead to see where you're going to get out? So do you just get out or do you look ahead to see where you're going to get out? Somebody said they took the waterfall. That's horrible. Yeah, you got to know where you're going to get out before you get in. So you control. Now, the one thing you do control is where you enter. You have complete control of that. That is the one thing. How much you put in and when you get in, that is your control. That's why we're like, be picky about which trades you get. Like sniper school, conditions must be right to take the shot. Exactly. One of my mentors and now best friend is John Netto. I'm speaking with him in Vegas in November at the trade show. And I contributed to one of his books called The Global Macro Edge. And he wrote a book called One Shot, One Kill Trading. He was a Marine. And he talks about the one thing you control, where you get in. Or is a Marine. Sorry if you heard me say was, I get in trouble. Once a Marine, always a Marine. But you control where you get in. So pick the right trade. You control how much you risk. So risk the right amount. But you don't control the outcome. You control how you respond to the system rules. You control how you respond to your rules after you get in. You control how you react to a loss of a trade that goes wrong. You control pushing a trade too far. You control your risk management, but you don't control the outcome. And if you will accept that, you will become more intelligent with your money. You will also you will not try to overanalyze every trade to cherry pick the best trade in the world, because you don't control the outcome, but you are going to pick the one. You're going to stop cherry picking out of all the ones that meet your rules completely, and you're going to take them. Because what you're trying to do, again, is you're trying to control the outcome, something which you don't have any control over. All right. So simulators. Spend time in demo. Learn your strategy, your system. Pilots spend a lot of time in simulators. We're glad they do. That's why I'm here today speaking, because I didn't get some guy that never spent time in a simulator. I flew in a plane. Do you want to fly with a pilot that's never been in a simulator? No. Does your money want to fly in a plane that's, never been demoed, an account? No. I mean, can you imagine if I was saying simulators are no good? They're not real. You really can't crash. You really can't die. I'm just going to go straight to flying. Would that seem pretty stupid to you? The pilot said that. Simulators are no good. You can't really crash or die. I hear people say that all the time about live. Live's not any good. There's no money on the line. It's like, oh, so you're a gambler. I thought you were one to be a trader. Because traders protect their money, right? You don't want to fly with a pilot like that. Your money doesn't want to fly with a pilot like that. Yeah, you got the replay you can use to help you learn as simulating. So very expensive lessons in trading. Demo is the cheapest way to get there as fast as possible. Because it's really horrible to finally figure it out, but have lost all your money on the way there. Now we're going to talk about some trading personalities. Okay? Some of us have a few of these. Some are a little bit mixed up. We're going to figure out which one you are, which one you want to be, and self-analysis is important. Every day, every trade, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? So I can repeat what I did right, so I don't repeat what I did wrong. Or you could even say, what personality did I express during this trade? Okay? So there are the sheep. They lost. They've done a lot of demo trading. Okay? But they're scared to trade. They're always scared to trade because every time they demo trade, then they lose. They don't have a lot of focus. All right? You go, are you trading it? No, I'm testing. How long have you been testing? For the last 3 months. Oh, good God. Get in and trade. Come on. They have tons of charts, like 1,000 charts up. They got a bazillion indicators. Why? Because they're trying to figure out how to, control the outcome of the trade. They're always searching every system, but they're never doing. These are people that they live in demo world. And they'll go subscribe to the next system and the next system and the next system, or they'll watch the next YouTube video, the next YouTube video, the next YouTube video, because they're too afraid to say, I don't control the outcome of the trade. So I just need to find a good system, have good risk management, and let the chips fall where they lie, okay? They enter a trade and it's losing, but they're so focused on it turning around, okay? Like they enter a trade, it's going down, it's losing. They have another chart up, but they're so focused on this one trade that's losing because they're so afraid of losing that they just missed a perfect long setup on the other chart. There been y'all? You're looking at a trade and you're so focused on how it's going the wrong direction that you totally miss another trade over here that's going in the right direction that you could have taken. It's almost like they're, ADD. It's like they can focus, but they're so focused on one thing, they're not seeing the whole picture. And like attention deficit disorder doesn't mean you can't pay attention. It means you pay so much attention to one little thing, you miss everything around you. They're looking for that one perfect system that will always work 100% of the time because they're afraid of losing. They're too afraid to lose. They hop and hop and hop, thinking one will finally be the holy grail. They're too focused on winning instead of trading well with good risk management. They also will try to mix 5 different systems together to avoid losses, and they'll test forever and ever and ever, and they'll say, I'm an engineer. That's what I do. I test. Okay? So, what does a sheep need to do? They need to stop looking at trading as winning or losing, and they need to look at it as inventory. Like I said, you get inventory in, you have inventory go out. At the end of the day, you want more inventory in than out. By the end of the week, by the end of the day, whatever. They get really bad about this. They must know everything before they do anything. That's some sheep. Okay? I got a lot of people, that's me, you're talking to me, I'm guilty. I got to know everything before I start anything. It's like, well, there's a lot to learn. I still don't know everything. If I would be waiting, I wouldn't be trading right now. I wouldn't have made six figures multiple times over last year. I'm still learning. These people who will watch 300 hours of video before starting a single thing. And we probably have like 3,000 hours of video. Please do not talk to me about myself. That's funny. Set up, learn your system, start demo trading. Stop tinkering all the time. You can, once you are trading and you're active and you're actually pulling live buttons and following your system like you're supposed to, you can tinker forever on the side. But you got to get moving. Sheep get slaughtered on Wall Street. You've heard pigs and sheep get slaughtered, right? They get slaughtered. Okay? So one person's like, I'm way over 300 hours. Sheep will have a million indicators and a chart that makes no sense to anyone but them. People say that to me, but you know what I'm talking about. You have like 3,000 moving averages and but somehow or another, all those lines, you can barely even see the price, but man, it makes sense. So it's only been 3 years. They still won't enter a live trade due to fear. They will focus on one day that won a lot and try to make the other days all be the same. So anyway, I get people go, I traded all day and I only made like $10. I'm like, that's awesome. I was like, I only lost $20. I'm like, that's great. Like, what? No, I didn't make a lot of money at all. You're coming back tomorrow, right? Because you got enough? Yep. Okay, who cares? That's great. As long as you can survive, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow may be a great day. As long as today's not a horrible one, because you didn't over-risk your account, it's a great day. Or have one bad day on a system. Okay, what else you got? What other systems you got? Because this one isn't working. Because today I didn't make money. Instead of reading market conditions to determine a proper trading strategy. Okay? Sheep will learn the ABCs. They have the rules down. Little typo. But they don't learn the 1, 2, 3s. They don't learn how to read the market. I got your rules. But you know why they don't learn the 1, 2, 3s? Because they're not in the room engaging and asking questions and posting charts and being involved with other traders. They're usually on the sidelines just watching because they don't want to interrupt, because again, they're afraid to interrupt anybody. They're afraid of looking bad or taking their time or whatever, but it's all fear. So you got to learn that in the community, the 1, 2, 3s. So they don't learn to read the markets because they're trying to read them by themselves usually. They don't see the whole vision. They get that tunnel vision when it comes to the rules. They can't back up and look at, oh, that really didn't make any sense at all for me to take that trade. They're completely fear controlled. So a lot of times they won't even hit the button. And their trading in live never reflects their trading in demo. It's because they trade completely different, right? They can't get hurt in demo. So, is this some of y'all? Yeah, I got some people going bat. Yeah, quite a few. So we've all been here. Lori's even said that used to be me. I'm like, Lori, hit the button. I just got it. No, hit the button. Just hit it. Just hit it. The world will not explode. Just hit it. You know? When I met John Netto, he let me meet with a lady who used to be a floor trader, and she actually became a trading psychologist. And she had a trader that was afraid to hit the button. So first she had him demo trade, and then she had him just going in and just doing single contracts. And this is a guy who would do like 1,000 contracts at once. And and just hitting and getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out. Like really not even worrying about what was happening. Just hopping in a trade, hopping out of a trade. And realizing the world didn't blow up when he hit the button. Just sort of getting past hitting the buttons. So there's the sheep. You can see how that would not be very effective to be a sheep. There's the pig. A pig will try anything. And you tell them an idea, and they're like, let's go, let's do it. I'll do it right now. That sounds fantastic. I'm all over it. Let's do it. Let's try. Well, I was thinking about this. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll try it. Let me do it. Let me open my live account. Put some trades on. Yeah, I saw a guy on Facebook. He said he's awesome. Let's follow him. Let's do it. They'll use live money to try anything. They're lazy. They won't test it. They won't demo it. They'll jump from one thing to another thing to another thing with live money. They'll find that, and then they'll find something that works for a few days in a row, and they'll go all in because they're like, oh my gosh, this thing has not lost a single trade in 3 days. I'm going to be a millionaire before Friday. And they go all in. Literally, like they'll put their entire account up. They don't have good risk management. They saw something on TV, on a friend, the newest thing, whatever. They're always trading too big. They'll be up $25 on a trade, and there's $5 more left. They want to make that $30. Okay? They're going into the dark zone. If you trade like options, there's a period where they become like illiquid. It's like on Nadex, like the last 30 seconds or a minute, or just depending upon what expiration it is. Like there's no liquidity, and they want that $5 more. There's $25. They want to make 30. They'll risk that 25 and all the money they put at risk because they want that last $5 instead of just closing it out. They're very greedy. They don't take profits. They're willing to risk the entire 70 to get $5 more. They love signal services, but they won't take profits. They'll be doing okay for a while, and then they'll go boom, get big hits. They don't exit at stop losses to keep a good ratio. They're greedy. They want to win. They're staying in, hoping the trade will eventually come back. I know I was only supposed to risk 30, and yeah, I know I'm down 70. But if then they start having the talks. Well, if it gets back to 35, I'll take it, and then it gets down to 40, and then it drops back down to 100 down, and then it gets back up, but never. And they keep this, and then all of a sudden it does fly up, and they're break even. They're like, okay, well now if I make my 30, then I'll get out, and then it goes back down, and they constantly have those games in their head. They're not following the rules. They jump in a trade too early before everything lines up. They don't have any patience. Or they jump in too late because they're like, oh, I don't want to miss out on that one. It's going to be a big money maker. And then they hope it still works out, wonder why they lost. Well, they would have been able to control their stop by then. They would have been fine, but they jumped in late. They don't want to learn and grow. Don't make me watch another video. Not everybody has time to watch videos. Don't you know that? I mean, I've watched videos before, and how do I know if this is going to be worth my time? Well, how do you know it's not? I read books all the time that aren't worth my time. They aren't worth the 10 or 20 or 50 or $100 I paid for them. But I'm always looking to grow. But they don't want to learn and grow. They just want to make money. And hey, I get that. That's nice, but it's not how it works in the real world. I have degrees. I've owned my own business. I'm smart. I'm an engineer. I don't need all this training and to learn all this. It does not matter. Just tell me what to do. You just tell me. I don't want to take my time, but I don't mind taking yours. Okay? You can be a billionaire, you can have been president, you can ran Google, but it does not mean anything. It does not mean you can hop in a plane and fly it. You still have to learn, right? Doesn't matter what you are or what you made. Doesn't mean you can operate on someone's brain successfully. Unless you're a brain surgeon. You don't want to be proud. But they are proud. Pigs would rather follow a guru than become a guru. Because remember, they're lazy. They just want signals. Just tell me when to get in and get out. But what happens if I'm having a bad day that day and you're just following me? Anybody have a bad day and make bad decisions? Emotional, whatever? Sometimes I'm in there and I take a trade and they're like, why'd you take that? And I'm like, oh crap, why'd I take it? You want to know why you're taking a trade that you're taking. Become the guru, don't follow the guru. Okay, ask the guru questions, and the gurus are just people who spent time trading. It's not just some one special person. No, this isn't DarrellMartinInvesting.com. Okay, it's ApexInvesting.com. Apex being the pinnacle point of like a pyramid or triangle. The idea being we're always reaching for the pinnacle point in trading as traders, but as traders as a community. So again, become the guru. Stop trying to follow them. That would be a pig personality. Do you really want your trading career dependent on someone else? What if the signal service goes out of business, or what if the guru you follow passes away? They never ask questions. What did I do wrong? They never ask that. They're like, oh man, that lost. They always remember their winners, but they never remember their losers. They're always an excuse for the losers, but they don't know why. Well, there's always a reason why because this person said this on the news, and this person said that. And who cares? If you manage your risk, just move on to the next one. Let's see here. I need some help for this, really. 3 years watching. Restatement so far is difficult to me. This is not good. Let's see here. What do we got? One person's like, oh God, I'm a pig. I'm a pig. I'm a pig. And so that's one thing I do is I try to teach where you're not just following me. Notice if you haven't seen me in the room for the last week, right? I've been out with my daughter cutting and everything all week. Company didn't skip nothing. Everything that was anything that became a problem got fixed by other people. So, one guy says I followed 2 gurus for 5 years and I enjoy learning how to fish. So pigs get eaten, on Wall Street. So the sheep are scared and they never do anything. The pigs are not scared, but they're lazy and they won't test and they want it all handed to them. So analyze those, see if you fall into either one of those. Now there's the cheetah, right? The cheetah is usually an actually pretty good trader. Fundamentally. They can go up in, they can make some money. But can they teach others how to do it? Like, do they actually know what they're doing so well that they could sit down? I remember when I started making a lot of big training, my wife was like, hey, teach me how to do this. And I was like, I don't know how to teach you how to do it. I just do it. Okay? So can you tell someone else how you do it? Are you consistent? Is there a reason behind your trades? They go incredibly fast, but they burn out really quick. They can go 70 miles an hour, but not for more than 100 yards, and then they burn out. Right? That's like a cheetah. They can go in, they push really hard, and then they just completely burn out. They don't have long-term goals. Their trading is long-term, but that's really the only goal is to trade. And trading's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay? They will jump to multiple strategies because they're too bored. So they're very bored. They can't just stick on one, boom, 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 boom. They want to trade quick. They need to trade now. I need to trade. I need to trade. I need to trade. It's like they got to fix and they need to fill it, right? They have no patience. They need action. They are not consistent. They will not catch every trade, but they'll try to catch every other one. They miss a lot of trades and they end up getting the losers because they're over here paying attention to this chart. They're so focused on it, they've missed the trades on the other chart. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They force trades. In other words, it may not all be there, but I need to trade now. So they push it. They have that need for action. They're a jack of all trades, a master of none. Instead of taking the time to master one, then add on another, they just keep adding on more and add on more and add on more. They react to a loss, so they change something and mess with the system and keep messing with it and turn it into a sheep, constantly testing and testing. This happens to cheetahs. Like, they have a loss, so they're like, I'm going to change this one thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then eventually all they're doing is testing and they're not trading. So they can easily turn into sheeps. They keep trading. They never stop for the day. They need more action. They're trading junkies. That's a cheetah. Some of you might fall in that category. So you see the shortcomings in the first three personalities. Now that you've seen that, what do you want to strive to be? The lion. One person asked on here, talking about risk management, speaking about futures. How do you yourself manage the inevitable 20-tick stop? As a lot of these people will turn to the power plays into, scalps, thus reducing the 1-to-1 ratio. Well, I don't risk more than I'm supposed to. So if I go in and I say I'm going to risk 5% of my account divided by 6, that's my max risk per trade. I don't care if it's 1 tick, 5 ticks, 20 ticks, whatever the ticks are, as long as I'm not risking too much. When you're risking too much, you're going to take the trade off too fast. And you won't be able to make that 90 ticks on the 20-tick risk because you're risking too much. And if you can't afford to lose what you're risking, you won't be doing it. You'll turn into a sheep. So the lion, they're patient. They wait for the kill. They wait for the right setup. They analyze the markets. They look at news and volume and ranges and market conditions. They have a full view of what's going on. They have the ABCs. They know the rules, but they also have the 1, 2, 3s, the why of the system. Why does this rule matter? It's how the markets work. It's how market movers move the market. And that's why these systems have been working. The rules may line up, but should I take it? Like the FOMC, it's a perfect setup right now, but the FOMC is about to release. You better have a really defined stop if you're going to take that release. They don't have to be fed 2 + 2 = 4. They can also see that 2 × 2 can equal 4. They can think in different ways to get to the same result. They can see the market. They know there are multiple paths to the destination. They're not stuck in tunnel vision. They have multiple plays in their playbook, like we've taught y'all 4 already for the power plays. They wait for the trades to line up and to come to them. They don't chase their trades. They're not as fast as a cheetah. They wait for it. They don't chase. But when they're there, they pounce on it and they take it out. They have good risk management. They trade with risk capital. They master a few systems versus dozens. And that way they can actually handle multiple market conditions. So the alerts help you change, as somebody brings up, from a cheetah to a lion, because you're waiting for the alert. And then you're like, okay, let me see if everything's right. Let's look at everything. And now if it does, then I pounce. They wait to strike till the time is right, but they do not hesitate. When the time is right, there's no hesitation. They are going to take the trade. My employer used to ask, like, how do you do that? You just, boom, you just hit it. I'm like, everything lines up. I don't have control of the outcome. I have control of my risk and my entry. I'm going to take it. If the trade setup is there, they take it. They don't wait and think about it. They don't hesitate on it like a sheep. They don't jump in too early like a pig and hope it works out. They learn and become a guru for themselves, not just depend on a signal or someone else for their trading success. All of us use tools from other people, the best of the best. But at the end of the day, you're making your trading decisions. They don't take on more than they can chew. They take down the animal they know that they can handle. Right? They don't just randomly pick a random binary, or they pick the right binary contract. They know why they took it. They know they can explain their chart, their system, the contract they chose, because it makes sense. There's actual reason behind it. They do self-analysis on every trade. What could I have done better? What did I do right that I should repeat? Okay? So the reality is we are all one of these characters at some point in trading. Maybe even we're different ones at different days and different times. We just have to be good at self-estimation. Remember talking about humility, honest estimation of oneself. Determine which ones you are, okay, and what you're being at that time so you can do better and become the one you need to be. Track your trades, take a journal. What do I need to do to be a lion? Am I acting like a lion right now? If not, why not? How can I become one? So some helpful info, step-by-step training courses. Where will this recording be? Y'all should know by now, but we'll put these recordings under webinars, open house webinars. Okay? So make sure you take advantage of that. And a few other cleanup things for you. Make the most of the open house. Be the lion right away. Okay? Like right away, get in there, get involved. The best way to become a lion now is everything, I covered earlier. Rewatch the course if needed. I know people watch the course like 5 times. That's fine. Do what you need to do. Get engaged. Again, the most powerful thing, get engaged in the room. The most important thing you need to do, and realize you don't have any control of the outcome of the trade. You have it free. You got free mentoring, free rooms, free leaders. People pay thousands for mentorships, and you have it free for another 3 weeks. Free systems, free indicators, free everything. So, the roadmap's been laid out for you. I hope that you see it. I hope that you've learned the ability of self-mastery, learning about yourself as part of the equation. If you don't pick it up, if you don't run with it, if you don't dedicate the next few weeks to it, there's only one person you can blame, right? And that's yourself, because everything's been given to you, but you just have to take advantage of it. If you don't take it seriously, then are you really serious about really wanting to make it in trading? Or are you really not serious about your future or for trading? Are you not serious about trading? Period. I'm trying to be honest with you because I want to help you. And that's why I called out these things about being sheeps and pigs and cheetahs. Like, that's just honesty. I've been there. I've been all of those, and I've had to learn to come through them. So I really challenge y'all to take advantage of everything that we talked about.